Welcome to today's Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled you're joining me, because today we're exploring a concept that lives entirely, and I mean 100%, inside our own minds. Seriously, if you love the power of human imagination and, finding that exact perfect word to describe it, you're in for a real treat.
So, tell me, have you ever made just this wildly elaborate plan in your head? Like, maybe you mapped out this sprawling, multi-level treehouse city, the kind connected by complex zip lines? Or maybe, and I'll admit I've totally done this, you envisioned a brilliant robot whose only purpose in life is to do literally all your homework for you, right? These ideas, they feel absolutely amazing when we're dreaming them up. But deep down, we kind of know they're probably never going to actually happen. Well, guess what? There's actually a very specific, totally beautiful academic term for these magnificent, impossible dreams.
And that word is today's adjective, chimerical. Let's actually sound this out together, kind of like a fun little chant. It's 4 simple syllables. Ready? 1, chi. 2, mer. 3, 4, cow. Chimerical. Now, notice that second syllable. That's the anchor of the whole word, and it rhymes perfectly with berry. Chimerical. It's got this really wonderful lyrical rhythm to it, doesn't it?
Okay, let's dive into this core definition. Chimerical basically means existing only in the mind. Fanciful, imaginary, not real. The absolute, undeniable center of this word is the unreal. It's a describing word specifically meant for those things we can picture so perfectly in our heads, but, we can't actually reach out and touch them in the physical world. Whatever is chimerical lives solely in our imagination, and definitely not in reality.
Now, to really grasp how to use this in everyday conversation, we're going to build out what I like to call a sunflower structure, basically looking at the different petals of meaning and context. So here's our very first petal. Few expected his chimerical plan for rooftop farming to actually work. Now, what's super interesting here is how the word perfectly captures a wildly impractical plan. It's one of those ideas that sounds absolutely incredible on paper, but in reality, it's just a bit too fantastical to pull off. It's a bold vision, sure, but a completely chimerical worm.
Okay, petal number 2. The fire-breathing dragon is a chimerical animal. And this brilliantly illustrates that the word doesn't just apply to quirky business plans or wild ideas. It applies perfectly to literal creatures of myth. Dragons, unicorns, griffins, yep, they are all chimerical. They're wonderfully vivid in the stories we tell and the movies we love, but their true original habitat? That's purely within human imagination.
Let's move to our next petal and see how this builds, because it's super important to remember that chimerical ideas aren't necessarily bad or silly. Take this sentence, for example. Her chimerical dream of a city on the moon delighted everyone, though no one believed it. I absolutely love this example. It shows that these ideas can be thoroughly delightful. Even if literally nobody believes it's actually going to happen, a chimerical dream can still inspire us, it can spark immense joy, and just get people talking. The true magic there is in the act of imagining itself. Now, let's put on our word detective hats for just a second. If you look at our closest synonyms, they're fanciful and imaginary, which map perfectly to chimerical. But check out the opposites, feasible and real. So the crucial point is the exact dividing line in feasibility. A chimerical idea isn't just creative or, slightly outside the box. It is so far outside the box that it is highly unlikely to ever come true. It entirely lacks feasibility. It's basically the difference between planning to build a new shed in your backyard, which is real, right? It's feasible, and planning to build an elevator to Saturn, which is proudly, beautifully chimerical. So what does this all mean for you? Well, it brings us to a really fun challenge to wrap things up. Can you describe one chimerical invention that you'd love to exist? And actually use the word chimerical in your sentence. Just remember the core definition. To be chimerical, it absolutely must exist only in your imagination. We're talking something completely fanciful, wonderfully impossible, and delightfully unreal. Think back to that homework robot or that giant treehouse city we talked about earlier and come up with your own chimerical masterpiece. Thank you so much for joining me for today's Explainer. I really hope you enjoyed expanding your vocabulary today as much as I did. Keep imagining those wild ideas, and I'll see you next time.